So we're going fishing on Sebago this morning. We're launching at the state park north side of Sebago, Songo River. It'll be the first open water fishing we do. And it's chilly. It's 19 degrees. And so it'll be nippy, but hopefully we'll catch some salmon, and if not salmon, then the second choice is togue, lake trout. So it's Wendell and Jim and myself, and we'll be in Jim's boat. That's I think it's like a 14-foot deep V. And Jim had some issues yesterday with his truck, and it wouldn't start, so it was towed by AAA. So Wendell's using his F-250 to tow the boat. So we're all meeting down at Jim's house, and then Wendell will hook up on Jim's boat. I'm going down to see if I can find some bait. It's I think there's a self-serve bait place on Route 35 and 11. No, Route 35 and 302. So I'm gonna go down there and pick some smelts up, and then Jim's gonna tie or sew the smelts onto the rods. So it should be it's kind of like a shakedown day, just like the first day we did the ice fishing. We're gonna be, you know, getting our sea legs, that sort of stuff. But anyway, it should be fun, and it certainly beats working, right? All right, talk to you later. Well, this is a self-service bait place. It's usually, the bait's usually in that chest freezer, but there's nothing in there. So it means we're not going to have smelts, which is a bummer. Anywho,
there's no issue.
There's Jim's boat.
When we get into that parking lot over there, of course, that area.
And Wendell's dump truck. We didn't get any smelts, as I said, so we're going to be doing lures and flies.
I've been over there.
So we're at the boat launch, Sebago State Park. There's Wendell down there. So we're leaving the boat launch. Early spring fishing issues. So we're using the electric motor because what? Because why, Jim?
Well, because I ran the little motor yesterday, and there's enough water in the exhaust system so that it caught overnight, and I don't want to keep running it until I don't want it to. What'll happen is I did run it for a few minutes, so there's some heat in it now.
Yep.
And I don't think before too long, I think it's going to be fine.
Okay, cool. So Jim, what's the plan today?
Troll for, if we'd had, see, this is perfect. This is the right speed for trolling bait.
Yep.
Which is what I was hoping to be able to do with the little electric motor.
Yep.
Cool thing about the electric motor is
I love it.
There's no noise.
Exactly. Or smoke.
There's no smell.
Yeah.
All of those things, you know.
There's nothing like the two-cycle smell.
No, I know.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the noise, so you can't even talk to each other.
No, that's true.
So what are you thinking as far as speed for trolling? It's going to be up about what, like 1.5 miles an hour or something?
Yeah, I mean for bait.
Yep.
It'll be quite a lot quicker than that with lures.
Yep.
We're gonna.
Because the speed.
There's a bald eagle.
Oh, look at that.
You know, there's a fisherwomen.
View that I've got here.
Yeah, sorry about that.
This
Yeah.
mass up front.
Yeah, Jim's saying that I am creating a blind spot, basically.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
A navigation blind spot.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So he threaded the needle on the.
Not so much.
Yeah, not. So we've seen an osprey, a couple pileated woodpeckers, and a bald eagle.
And an osprey.
And an osprey, yeah.
And some seagulls.
And some seagulls. So we've had
Blackbirds.
blackbirds. Is a blackbird the same thing as a raven or a crow? Something
Blackbirds
different.
are little smaller ones on that tree over there.
There's a mallard.
And a mallard too.
And some geese.
And some geese, Canada geese. They're flying right
Coming
towards
Coming
us.
right
Yeah.
up the river. Coming right up the river.
Yeah. That's awesome sound.
There's some more behind me.
So that is a red-winged blackbird up there. Right up there. We have our resident bird expert, Wendell. That you can see the red. Oh no, that. And what was that bird that just dived down?
Blue jay.
A blue jay. Okay. And they're the blue jays are the bullies of the bird world, but they're also very smart.
Of the bird feeders.
Canadian geese.
Yeah, I know, Bubba's. Canada geese. They're letting us know they're around.
A goose and a mallard.
Oh yeah. Love that sound.
Where's the lake at?
True up.
Yeah, they cast. They found a school of smells.
Well, and what I was thinking was that's an option for us.
Can you get the smelts hook and line?
Oh yeah, the guys jig for
You
smelt.
can't dip them though.
No. No,
Unless you're a bait dealer. Can you get them that way with bait?
I think.
He's got winter gear on today.
Yep.
Look at the parade coming out of the...
Oh yeah.
19 degrees still.
Get him yet? They're not showing up. Gotta go back in that 5 foot water.
Bee smelt, the same thing you and I were using.
BB smelt, yep.
Yeah.
100 feet of water here.
So you got like the one that's rainbow and then...
Yeah, there's all kinds of them. When I went to put these rods in the boat, in the barn, I was squeezing between that scaffolding I've got down at the far end and
Yeah.
the boat.
Yeah.
and I hooked this lure into my sweatshirt, and I got 3 of the 4 hooks on that daggone thing into my sweatshirt.
Those hooks work, don't they?
Around behind me like this. Oh,
yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And so what I finally ended up doing was I said, well, I'm going to have to cut the lure loose.
Yeah.
Which is what I did do, and that's the reason there's no lure on this one.
So you basically did a catch and release on yourself, Jim. You did a catch and release on yourself.
I did a catch and release on myself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a rare one. Hold on. See right there, that's a DB smelt.
Any more than 5 or 6 feet.
So 5 or 6 feet for the sinking fly line here with the DB smelts.
Right.
There's some more at 150.
My garden hose was frozen.
Oh.
So I said, well, I'll just hook onto the boat and take it over. So I hooked onto the boat and brought it over to the ramp. And I launched the boat. I actually was tied up there at the dock. I'd gone up and parked the truck. I did all of that thinking that I might even come out and wet a line for a little while. And so I put the thing in the lake and the motor wouldn't start. I yanked and yanked and yanked and yanked on it. It wouldn't start. So I got the trailer, and well, first thing I did was I went back up to get the truck and realized that the key to the truck was in my sweatshirt, which I'd left in the boat. So I had to come back now to the boat to get in. It just was a miserable day, that's all.
You were really relaxed by that point, weren't you?
I finally did get the motor to run, which was a good thing.
Yeah.
You must have been huffing and puffing.
It was a little.
Yeah. So we had some technical difficulties. The Richer lead adjuster, which is right there, it fell out, of all things. But luckily we have an onboard mechanic who sussed it out.
This is the shakedown cruise.
It's the shakedown cruise, yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Exactly right.
Things up, so I was steering a course like towards the A-frame on the shore or something, you know.
Yeah.
And I'd have another reference out here on the other shore.
Yeah.
Just so that I didn't end up all of a sudden in really shallow water.
Yeah.
But every year it would either be foggy or something.
Yeah.
I'd go from 80 feet of water to 17 feet of water in like no time.
Yeah.
I'd just be doing the mad scramble to get the boat turned around and try to keep my lines from hooking the bottom.
Exactly. That's what the big thing has changed, right? Is the electronics.
55.
Yeah, you'll see. It'll come up big time.
It's showing on the map there.
Breezy with the big boat.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you don't pay any attention to it, the big boat.
Exactly. So the water's like glass. Look at that. See that? It's like glass.
Yeah,
We had to obey the laws when we were up there.
My grandmother and my granddad used to go to East Grand every year. One of their favorite trips.
Yeah.
Jim, we're swapping out the DB
like
smelts, and we're going to be using streamers now.
Oh, you got a whole bunch of them.
Right.
got a double hook.
I actually like the treble hook one.
So it is kind of cold. We got ice on the eyelets, which is the classic early spring Maine fishing symptom or scenario. You just use whatever, plug in any word you want there. Jim's putting on a streamer. They look like big flies.
Look at that ice.
But they're supposed to mimic actually a fish. A bait fish. Was it a bite?
Well, that would be the one that clicked. Oh, those don't click. That mash.
Yeah.
That was his. That was
secret
his
weapon.
Stuff.
Ah.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Arthur Libby.
And then you're saying he would run close to the shore even though he had a fairly decent sized boat, right?
Yeah.
Those are the wooden ones, aren't they?
Big old wooden Chris craft. It was a cabin cruiser, is what it was.
Yeah.
But he had sports that would go with. I mean, they wouldn't go with anybody but Arthur.
Yeah.
He had Bob Bebo used to tie his flies for him.
Yeah.
These are the flies that I'm using.
Yeah.
Are the same kind that Bebo used to buy. I used to tie for him.
Really?
A lot of the streamer flies would have like a wire connector between the front hook and the back hook.
Yeah.
And Arthur had it was like catgut. It was like the mono line, but it was a nice heavy line.
Yeah.
But it was much more flexible. And so that treble hook on the back that he was running would make that fly dance around.
Ah.
I mean, it really, to see his flies in the water, it really did look like a minnow kind of darting this way and that.
So then you said that he dipped it into like fish parts?
Exactly. It was the rankest smelling stuff because it sat there on the dash of his big old boat.
So he'd marinate them, right?
Exactly. Exactly. He had a fish marinade going. That's exactly what he had.
And then he dipped the stream. He just had the streamers would be soaking in it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what he'd do. He dipped the streamer in that stuff before he put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad used to spit on them. He'd say, "Well, I'll spit on them."
That was his.
that was his technique.
Yeah.
He'd run them through his lips, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that work out for him?
Oh, Dad caught fish. Well, Dad kind of got into fly tying there for a while.
Yeah.
But Dad's streamers looked like a fistful of feathers. I mean, he'd be tying a fly and he'd say, "Well, I think maybe some cock hackle will go in this." So he'd wrap a little bit of that in, and then he'd say, "Well, maybe I'll put a little red in," and by the time he got done, the thing was as big around as your thumb.
Yeah.
And he'd laugh. I don't know that he ever caught a fish with any of the streamers he tied.
It sounds like they would have made pretty good Christmas ornaments or something too, right?
Exactly. Just right. If he'd be going first one way and then the other.
So Arthur Libby would be not. He wasn't driving straight.
He looked like he was drunk. Sometimes he was.
Yeah. And then he realized there was a benefit to it.
There were times when the sports would bring the boat back in.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one that had a reputation for that was Kenny Maynes. Kenny Maynes was a well-known guide. He came in one afternoon at Richardson's with a heck of a cooler full of salmon.
Yeah.
Kind of half pie-eyed. I'd say, "Geez, Kenny," I said, "where were you fishing today?" He says, "Well," he says, "go out through the gut, up past Fry's Leap," he said. He said, "You get up around Battleship Island," he says, "you'll feel your boat settle about a foot." He says, "I fished that so hard today, I wore a hole in the lake."
So the technique that you were saying, what was like you're doing now, is zigzagging as you're trolling.
Yeah.
Something
So the water here, remember earlier on we showed that the water was kind of glassy, and now it's more a little bit choppier, and Wendell and Jim are calling it a salmon ripple.
Right.
And that it's better for salmon action when you have a little bit of a ripple like this.
Swap hooks.
No fish today, but once the smelts start running, we should be better. Should be better. Maybe next weekend.